Morning, guys. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters in the Pathfinder School, back out here at the Pathfinder Outfitters kitchen. What I thought we'd do today is make ourselves a loaf of what's called quick bread. And quick bread is made with chemical leavening agents. In other words, it's going to use self-rising flour instead of using something like a yeast or a sourdough starter. We're going to talk about sourdough starters as we go too. I've got one actually right here in the works. Hasn't started bubbling up yet. It's only been about 12 hours. We'll talk about that later. We made some farmer's cheese the other day, and we don't have anything to put that cheese on, so we need to make some bread. And I also want to make some apple butter in the next couple of days, and we're going to need something to put the apple butter on as well. And we could go get a loaf of bread, but why do that when we can make bread? So I figured instead of using yeast, which we've been using in a lot of videos as of late, I would show you how to make a bread that you don't need to use yeast or have a sourdough starter in advance to make a loaf of bread. And you can make it in a Dutch oven right on a propane stove if that's what you have to work with. So stay with me and we'll get started, guys. Okay, one of the main things that we need to make this quick bread is need some buttermilk. And if we don't have buttermilk and we're just carrying regular milk or we're carrying powdered milk, we can make buttermilk by using white vinegar. White vinegar is something you're going to want to have around because it's useful for lots and lots of things. We use it to make the farmer's cheese, if you remember right. And now we're going to use less of it to make buttermilk. And instead of being hot, we're going to use cold milk. So what I'm going to do is I've got two of these measuring devices here. I like to keep my powdered milk in this mixed up and put into the fridge there, or into the Yeti over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. And this is a real simple recipe. 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. We'll pour that in. And then all we're going to do is put enough milk into this container to equal 1 cup. 1 cup is 8 ounces. So we're just going to turn this thing around to the ounces graduation. Pour enough milk in there to have 8 ounces, just like that. And then we're just going to shake that dude up and let it sit. And that's going to give us our buttermilk. All right, now we got that out of the way. Okay, now we're going to get our dry ingredients together. So we're going to need 2 cups of self-rising flour. Again, I like using this half cup measuring device. Right, we're good to go there. We want about a half a teaspoon of salt. A tablespoon of sugar. Now we'll get that kind of whisked in together a little bit here with a balloon whisk. We don't have to get too crazy with it. We're going to mix this stuff up a little bit more in a few minutes anyway. Just enough to get things spread around in there. Now, we also need to go with our buttermilk. We're going to need a half cup of butter. And this is basically a full stick of butter. And we're going to melt that. And then we're going to mix an egg in that, our milk in that, and put that in with the flour and the dry ingredients and mix that into a dough. Okay, we've got our melted butter. And we're going to add to that 1 egg. And to that, we're going to add our buttermilk. And we're going to whisk that together. Get that egg good and beat in there. And this is what we're going to add to our flour. Now, you're definitely going to want this. This will give you the consistency for dough, and it won't have any give. And it's got some slots in it, so stuff can go through it. It's called a Danish whisk. You can find them in my Amazon store. Mix this up real good. And this should be pretty tacky when you get it done, and pretty much like a thick dough. And once we've got this batter where we want it, we're going to take a couple of greased loaf pans here, small ones. And this is what we're going to use to cook our loaves in. And remember that this bread's going to rise, so don't get too aggressive with how much you put in here, because it's going to come up above the sides. So you can probably make 3 or 4 of these small loaves easy enough with this amount. Probably more than we need in that one for sure anyway. The other one's about right. And we still got some batter left over here. We can make a couple more. We just leave that sit while we're cooking these. Okay, so we're just going to use an actual Dutch oven here, Field Company Dutch oven. And it's going to allow me to put a rack in the bottom to give me some standoff, and also put both of those loaf pans in there at the same time. And then we'll just cover that dude up and let her cook for, I don't know, 40 minutes. We'll see what it looks like. All right, it's been 30 minutes. Let's take a look at our bread here. See what we got. Wow, it looks pretty good. It looks nice on the top. It looks a little spongy to me. We'll stick a fork in there and see if it comes out wet. If it comes out dry, we're good. Some really nice looking bread. See what we got on the inside. Yeah, pretty dry. Yeah. Looks good. Okay, let's put the lid on this dude for a second. Turn the heat off. We'll get her out of there. Zahn smells that bread. He's like, hey, hey, hey. Now, we did things right. Should come out of here pretty easy. Boom, look at that. Man, look at that loaf of bread. Holy cow. What are you talking about? Man, oh man. Get the other one out. There we go. A couple nice loaves of bread right there. Look at that. Holy cow. All right. These over in the wash. Well, first things first, let's cut into this bread and see what we got here. Wow, look at that. That thing is just absolutely perfect. Look at that. Holy cow. All right. I can't stand it. Need some farm cheese on there. Give her a shot. Oh yeah. Good. Nice. Nice. Golly, it's nice. That bread. It's so buttery. Oh wow. That bread's amazing. Holy cow. I'm dropping farm cheese. Man. Oh my gosh, that bread's good. Man. I can wash that down with some energy drink here. Guys, I appreciate you joining me for this video today on how to make quick bread. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, for our business, all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends. I'll be back with another video as soon as I can, guys. Thanks. That's good, Don. Here. Get this one. I don't know if you're gonna eat bread, but you can try it.